Hello. Just trying to find me on the iPad so we can see the comments. Hi Glenda. Hi Megan. Happy Monday. Right. Hi Elizabeth. Hi Jenny. All right, I didn't know how many people I'd get on tonight, considering it's the MasterChef finale. So I didn't know. But I've got it playing in the background so I can kind of hear it. Because I want to know who wins. Hi Deb. How's caravanning, Deb? Are you home or are you still out and about? So for those interested, I had my exam today. I feel hi Glenda. I feel a little bit better than I did last exam. So, home for one night. That's all right, Megan. Yeah, so I feel a little bit better than I did last exam. So hopefully, because all I needed was to get 30 to pass. And P's get degrees. I'm not aiming for anything else, so bring it on. So, all right. And, woohoo, yes. That's all I need is just a pass. So then I've just got my next subject, which I've already signed up for, and the next piece of assessment's due on the 3rd of August already, so straight into it. I'm a sucker for punishment, I can tell you. Sucker. Anyway, so we'll flip you around, and that flips that back. Okay, and this is one of the cards that I made this week. This is a bit exciting. Using the fruit stamp, and it's a fun fold. So this uses the cute fruit. So this fun fold is my take on hi Sylvia, a fold from Connie Stewart that she shared a couple of weeks ago, and then I've changed it up and I've used the cute fruit stamp. So I just want it done, Elizabeth. I just want it done and dusted. 4 to go. Hi Kerry. So that was pretty cute this week to do that, and I haven't really got anything else because I was studying and doing birthdays and everything else. So what we're going to do tonight is a colouring technique. Now I have done this in a class a couple of years ago. Hi Anita. But there's been a few people trying it, and I wanted to try, hi Marie, wanted to try it again using different colours, because what I've seen in the past, I've used I've always used black or brown as the background, and it's lovely and it gives a nice technique. But I wanted to try with different colours. They were pretty yummy, Megan. Loved it. And Hunter loved them. So that was good. But yes. So Hi Karen, I'm gonna show you. So this was my first attempt and I used the wrong embossing powder because I didn't label my jars, and this is what happens because embossing powder looks white, whether it's clear or white. Then this was my second attempt and it didn't look great because I didn't really use my embossing buddy and there was powder everywhere and it got a bit smudgy. And this was my last attempt practicing tonight, and I've now decided I need to use lighter colours because it's just not working. It's not giving me the technique that I want. So for those of you that haven't seen this technique, it's called Joseph's coat, and we'll have a bit of a play. Now what you will need is you need some colours that you choose, and usually in most of the previous videos that I've seen, the background, you start with a white piece of paper, but the overarching background is a really dark colour. So it's like Night of Navy, probably Pretty Peacock. I've used Early Espresso, black in the past. I wanted to try and keep it a little bit lighter. So I'm trialing colours and I'm trying to have the background purple. So we'll see what happens. So I'll flip you around. And hi Karen. So we're gonna do Joseph's coat technique. All right, let's get rid of that. And you can see I'm using quite a few colors tonight. So what I'm going to do is open these all up, and if Julie Wilson is watching, she'll be very pleased. I've actually got 4 clear blocks out. Can you believe it? So I do own, look, I own 2 D blocks. I think this is I block, and I've got the stamp on E block, because we're using this stamp set. Oh, well, if you haven't tried it, Anita, it is pretty easy, but I'm trialing it tonight, and this is the stamp set we're using, hand-drawn blooms. I'm trialing it tonight using lighter colours because I don't really want to have the brown or black or the dark brown as the background. Although that looks really nice, it's not what I'm going for tonight. Now with this one, I did use Melon Mambo, Bermuda Bay, Granny Apple Green, and Mango Melody, and then I've tried to go over it with the Gorgeous Grape, and the colours underneath are just too dark because you're seeing the colours underneath. So we're going to try it again, and now I've got Flirty Flamingo, Pool Party, Granny Apple Green, and Daffodil Delight. So what I want to do is get some colours on my blocks, my clear blocks. So I'm just putting the ink, the clear block into the ink pad just to get some colour. And this is going to be my palette because I am adding the glycerin to it because it does help it slide around and colour a bit more. Okay, so I've got Flirty Flamingo there, and Pool Party. So I'm just going to add, trying to get it all, I'm using a lot of stuff and trying to get it all on the screen is a bit difficult. So I'm just going to add a couple of drops of glycerin. Now I've gone over glycerin a couple of times in other videos. Apparently you can get it from the health food, the cooking aisle of your supermarket. I couldn't find it there, but I did get this version from the chemist. And this is the product before it becomes glycerin, so it's not sweet, but I have no intention of using it for cooking. So I have this. So then I've got a Adorba, and I've got all the labels on them, so I know. And you want to choose colours that will mix well together. So like a yellow and a green is going to make a blue. You don't want to choose colours that are going to muddy and go all brown and yuck. Okay. And you just start, and sorry, I can't stop the shaking because it's part of the technique. You just put colour everywhere. Okay. So then I've got Pool Party as well. Now Pool Party is quite light. I'm going to ink into the pad and then on here to try and get a bit of a darker colour for Pool Party. And you want the colours to blend. And it does look quite messy when you first start. Okay, and I have a dauber for each colour, okay? Just so that it doesn't get too messy. And then we'll do a bit of pink. So hopefully everyone's weekend was pretty good. Mine was pretty busy. And we haven't done Greeny Apple Green yet. So this technique is not hard, you just need a few colours, and I'm just going to add some Pool Party in the middle of this. You just need a few colours, and I find the glycerin does help to speed it along. And then you also need clear embossing powder. So I'm just going to close these ink pads up. What'd you do, Elizabeth? All right, now I am going to use my embossing buddy. Now, Stampin' Up no longer sell this, but without it, I was in a bit of a mess before. So what this does is this takes the static off the page and stops the embossing powder sticking where it shouldn't stick. Okay. So that's mine. Now I've got my stamp on a big block and my Versamark ink. And you don't want to overcrowd the paper, but you do want to stamp a few times. So I'm just, because this image is quite big, I'm just stamping a few on the edge, and you can't really see when you stamp with Versamark. You might be able to see in the camera, but you can't really see. It does stamp the same image. It stamps a lighter color of the cardstock that you're using. So Versamark was actually the first ever ink that I bought. Because if you have an Versamark ink pad, you actually have every colour under the sun. Because, I'll show you, whoa, I'll show you. I've got a piece of Gorgeous Grape here. And if you stamp with Versamark, you will actually get a lighter image. So it's going to be lighter than if you stamp directly with Gorgeous Grape on there, but it'll give you the Gorgeous Grape colour. So I love Versamark, and you use Versamark with embossing powder because it is a sticky ink, and it gives you time, which is why I'm still chatting here, to get your embossing powder and get that together and stick, and it will still stick to the ink. Whereas if you use just normal water-based ink, which you can for embossing, you have to work really quickly because our water-based inks dry really quick. Whereas Versamark is quite sticky and takes a longer time to dry, which is why it works so well for embossing. So I'm just covering the images, and I can see them because they're a bit shiny. And then you just want to tap off the excess. And I'm just going to flick the back of that because there was a bit much sitting there. But I think that's got all that covered. Okay. So then you need, oh, got cords white. Now I'm going to turn the heat tool on, so it's going to get a bit noisy, but we're going to heat set this powder now. And you know it's done when you can see it. It goes all really clear and shiny. Okay, and when you heat set, you really do want a craft heat tool. When I first started, I was using my husband's heat tool from Bunnings, and I set quite a few things on fire because it doesn't have a low setting like the craft tools do. So you want to make sure that you do have a setting, craft setting on there, because it will make it a lot easier and you won't set so many things on fire. So I'm just going to use Gorgeous Grape on my block here and just add a little bit of glycerin. And hopefully this is going to work because these colours are a lot lighter than the other one that I just tried before. So now the whole point is to go over. So some people use a brayer with this. I find I can never get a dark enough image with a brayer. Okay, I think I'm going to get a re-inker and just get some more colour. Because I really want this dark. So that is getting me the darker colour that I want. And I'm just going to add some more. Maybe I might see whether re-inker on this one will work then too. While that one, just let that dry just for a little bit. This was the one I did earlier, but I couldn't get it dark enough to cover the colours underneath, so I've chosen lighter colours. Most of the videos that I've seen with this technique will use brown, like early espresso, night of navy, black as the base color, because you need something that is going to go really, really dark. But that's getting darker and more the color that I want for even that other piece. Now let's stick another layer on this. Ooh. Might just add a few more. All right. And I've just used normal Whisper white paper. You could use shimmery white cardstock or the watercolor. I find I can't emboss on watercolor paper. I never get a clear enough image for my liking. You've used a toaster, Glenda. Oh, Deb. That was years ago. I've tried a hairdryer. It doesn't work quite as well because it blows as well. So it's not just heat, it blows the powder. The hairdryer does work better from underneath rather than over the top. But the heat tool is the best. But yeah, don't use the ones from Bunnings. Okay, so then once you've got the desired colour that you want, which I'm pretty happy with there on both of them now. Look at my inky fingers. You just need to get a tissue, and because this is like an emboss resist technique as well, some of the ink will pool on the embossing. So you just need to wipe it off, and then the embossing will pop through even more, because that won't stick where that embossing powder is. So this just makes it a lot brighter, and you might not be able to see it from the camera, but that's pretty cool. And then this is the lighter one that I did just before. With the lighter colours underneath. And this looks just as good too. Okay, so you do end up with a bit of ink that comes off there. And that's that one. So I'm gonna make them into cards. We're just gonna close up ink pads because I've got ink everywhere. So I think I want, hi Angie. I think I'm going to want a piece of Melon Mambo for this one because I don't want the purple because there's going to be too much purple. Melon Mambo maybe, and for this one, maybe the Flirty Flamingo. So I'll just get those colours out because I've not prepped. Oh, I've only got scraps left of Flirty Flamingo, so that'll be that. It's really nice, Kerry. I quite like it. It's very messy, but what other colour did I say? Melon Mambo. I might do Bermuda Bay actually. Is that white? No, it's not wide enough for a card print. I keep all my cardstock in a in the big zippy bags. And I keep scraps in there too so that they're all together and I don't cut a new piece every time I want something. So I'm just gonna move my heat tool and cut. I'm just gonna move that ink out of the way. Hopefully this is card front size already. That's close enough. Yes, you could do anything, Megan. I just wanted to use a stamp set that I hadn't used before, but you can use any. You don't want a stamp set that like has a right or wrong way type thing, but with the jellyfish, they could go be swimming either way. So it doesn't matter, but because you kind of want to stamp a bit haphazardly around the place to get a good image. So flowers work really well, leaves work really well, but I think the jellyfish would work just as well on that too. All right, so we're gonna stick that one on there. I need to trim these down. Yes, sunflowers, the peony or peony image, whatever you want to call it. Now, this has got quite a lot of ink on it, so it is a bit wet. So just be careful when cutting it, because it is still a bit damp. So when my paper is a bit wet and stuff, I always cut from the bottom up, right, other than the top. Whoa, oh. Let's move that block. That fits on there. Let's trim this one down. Alright, and then that, oh, that's still not enough. I might just trim that a little bit more because there's still, must be that one. It's hard when you've got scraps in your pile that you haven't cut because you don't know what size they are. There. Okay. Thank you, Megan. It did nearly go everywhere. Nearly went all on my white cardstock. Now, look how inky my fingers are. Okay, so we'll just use the seal. Now, because this has got quite a lot of ink and it's a bit damp, I'm going to use the seal on all four sides. let's just get rid of that scrap paper because that's not helping anything. Oh, it's come off. Get back on your roller. Now these cards would work just as well with, I'm going to try not to put my smudgy fingers on them, without a sentiment, but I am going to add a sentiment. Nope. It's coming off the roller just a little bit. But I'm still on my first roll of, I know, it does hold, Megan. I'm actually very impressed with it, although we're in winter. I haven't experienced it with summer yet, but we are in winter. And it does hold, and the Stamp and Seal held my cupcake box together when I put that together and it fell apart with the adhesive that was already on it that came as part of the set. So now obviously this bloom image you can stamp fully and add stems to it and can have a full image on there, but that's not what I wanted. So, and these, wishing you a happy birthday, congratulations on your special day, and so grateful to have a friend like you, are one stamp, okay? Because these go, they coordinate with some dies, and the die is awesome. So I've cut this die out in glimmer paper, and it's just fabulous. And so the words coordinate to stamp in there easily. But we're not using that today. I'm just gonna do hello, I think. And I might stamp that. There is a die to cut that out, but I think I might just fussy cut that. And we might need some scrap white. Oh. Whoa. That will work. So now I've got to clear off some blocks. To use. So just a tissue has cleared that off and it's good as new. So we're just going to stamp hello. And I just want to stamp. That's all right, Sue. I was wondering how many people I was going to get. I've got it playing in the background, so we'll see. And I'm just going to stamp that up there. Let's just close this before I have too many issues. I'm bringing in my little mini trimmer. Now these are available for purchase again. They can only be ordered by a demonstrator as a supply item, but these are awesome. This was a little it helps to do little tiny sentiments like this. And I want to stick that flower on, so I don't want it too small. Stick that. Get my scissors. Actually, before I cut this, I'm going to get my Winker Stella and just colour this a little bit. They're awesome, Elizabeth. Now, I was hoping the colours might bleed a little bit more into that, but it hasn't. So I'm just going to pick up a bit of the colour from the ink pad directly. Oh my God, I sound like my pop saying directly. Just to give it a little bit of colour. Because often with the Winker Stella, the colour does bleed a little bit, and I don't want it really dark, but I did want a touch of colour here, not just glitter. Alright. So, and I do have a tiny bit of glitter on that ink pad now, but you can clean that off. Who doesn't love a bit of glitter? Anyway, now there is a die that cuts out this flower, but I'm just going to fussy cut it tonight to show you that it's not that difficult to fussy cut it. Okay, and then that's going to go on this one. We are going to, that is still just a tad bit wet. Oh, getting some dimensionals. And then we're going to dimensional that as well, so that's really going to pop up. And then part of this, because this is the Artistry Bloom Suite, and you get some adhesive back sequins with this. I haven't even opened these yet. Okay, these are childproof. I'm trying to get into. Now we have, ooh, pink, blue, a red, dark pink and a yellow. This light pink will go really well. I didn't even know the colours of that when I chose Flirty Flamingo, but because there's some paper that goes with this suite as well. But we're gonna, where's my pick tool? Oh, I flicked that off. That can go in the center of that. And I think a couple of these, we could probably do different color ones because there is loads of colors in here. little one of this blue one. Oh, I like that a lot. Okay, we need to do the sentiment for this one, which I need the ink of Bermuda Bay. And we'll do hello again. And we'll stamp that again. Do the wink of Stella first this time. And because you've got the pink, you just wipe it on your hand or a tissue, or just get the pink off there. The Bermuda Bay is bleeding a little bit more than the pink, so it's getting the colour on there that I wanted. So I don't have to go to the ink pad. So I'm happy with that. So I think Wink of Stella is the best tool ever. I have about 4 of them because you can never run out. I've got my little trimmer. Thanks, Sue. I'm not sure I've stamped hello very straight, but anyway. It is what it is. Yeah, hello's not too straight. And then just cutting these out. Oh. Nope, never too much Wink of Stella. Okay, and we'll have dimensionals again. I've got the Leaning Tower of Pisa over here with all my embellishments that it's probably going to slide off any minute. It is a great tool, Elizabeth. Can't have enough of it because it just puts bling on everything. And because it's actually got alcohol in it, it dries really quickly, whereas the water-based inks and stuff take a little while to dry. We might stick a blue one in the center because it kind of looks like it. I think we're going to stick another one because you need to be uneven. And we've got one on the label. And we'll stick another one on this one. Over here. Alright, now I need to clean up because this is a mess. I love adhesive backed sequins. They're so much easier to use than the other sequins where you've got to add a glue dot to. The work is already done. So this comes part of the suite, but you can buy them separately. Artistry Blooms adhesive back sequins in there. Pack that up. And scrap can go over there. Clean up this. Now these are just, hi Amanda. I'm just gonna clear these off. And that's why I like using the clear blocks as your palettes, because they're just so easy to clean off. Like a dry tissue, a wet wipe, paper towel, something. So they're done now, cleaned off, ready for use next time. Oh, got to clean the stamps. And then this is the stamp set that we used tonight. And it does come with some matching dies. And then these are the 2 cards we made, and the technique is called Joseph's Coat. So if you haven't seen it, you can Google it, you can rewatch this video because it'll be saved on Facebook, and do it all again. In the past, the videos that I've seen has used a black background or a brown background because you need a really dark colour. But I wanted to try something a little bit different tonight with the purple background and be a bit more bright and cheery. So hopefully you enjoyed those, and I'd love to see what you come up with. And look forward to seeing you guys all next week. Thanks for watching. Bye.